During his visit to Puerto Maldonado in Peru in January 2018, Pope Francis explained what the new evangelization for the Amazon region would be. It was no longer about preaching the gospel, but about maintaining indigenous peoples in their primitive condition as part of the forest. His statement signaled the direction intended for the Synod of Bishops of the Pan-Amazonic region, scheduled for the end of 2019. The old and already condemned liberation theology was raising its head once again, promoting indigenous theology behind the mask of ecology. Observers around the world turned their attention to the critical meeting. Despite being a single-issue assembly, the October Synod took on a universal dimension from its convocation and early works. Most Reverend Franz Joseph Overbeck, Bishop of Essen, told the German Bishops' Conference's official website that the Synod would lead to a break in the Catholic Church, and that from October nothing will be the same on issues such as sexual morality, priestly celibacy, the role of women in the Church and the Church's hierarchical structure, and the so-called clericalism. The Plinio Corrêa de Oliveira Institute and its sister organizations from all over the world started a great campaign to alert Catholic opinion about progressive plans to establish a so-called church with an Amazonian face at the Synod. April 2019 saw the launching of Pan-Amazon Synod Watch, a website that went on to publish news items and countless articles of high doctrinal and intellectual caliber on topics related to the upcoming Synod of Bishops. Feedback from well-known international media outlets attests to the site's penetration and influence. In an article posted on the Crux website, Christopher White defined the Pan-Amazon Synod Watch website as one of the primary hubs of resistance to the October gathering Amazon Synod. He went on to write that Oliveira is in many ways the godfather of the resistance to the Amazon Synod. All kinds of repercussions mentioning the site's effectiveness came to light in several media outlets. However, the Plinio Corrêa de Oliveira Institute and the TFPs worldwide were not satisfied with just a virtual campaign on the Amazon Synod. Teams of volunteers went straight to the great South American forest region to contact the population directly and clearly ascertained what the new evangelization's promoters do not seem to see. The region's inhabitants unanimously affirmed their desire to legitimate and Christian progress and the need for missionaries to bring the faith to the area. No one wanted to remain in the situation of abandonment and near misery in which they find themselves at the moment. In July 2020, the Institute launched a signature collection campaign for a petition to the Synod Fathers. Volunteer caravans visited the Amazon region of Brazil, Peru, and Ecuador and collected signatures directly from the local population. The appeal asked the bishops participating in the Synod to take necessary steps to foster Christian civilization in the Amazon, bringing it legitimate progress and evangelization. After covering tens of thousands of kilometers, the young caravanners collected more than 20,000 signatures. It is further proof that the population rejects the revolutionary indigenous project for the Amazon. The most expressive move of the campaign on the Synod was undoubtedly sponsoring an international conference titled Amazon, the Stakes, organized in Rome on the eve of the Synod. Several ecclesiastical and secular personalities attended lectures given by Dom Bertrand of Orleans Braganza, by professors Roberto de Mattei, Stefano Fontana, Carlos Moleon, and prominent TFP members from around the world. Also in attendance were Cardinals Walter Brandmüller and Raymond Burke, and the Princess Gloria Turm und Taxis. The lecture by the Brazilian native Dr. Jonas Marcolino Makushi, leader of the Makushi ethnic group in Roraima, Brazil, caused a great impact. He made clear to the world how erroneous anthropologists, progressive missionaries, and NGOs are trying to keep indigenous peoples in their primitive state. Over 1.2 million people watched the words of the Makushi Indian on the Institute's YouTube channel. After the Synod, with its scandalous scenes of pagan cults and the exaltation of the Pachamama idol, the tribalist current hoped that its most radical dreams would come true in the form of a new document by Pope Francis approving this trend. However, that did not happen. The Synod's outcome proved to be a cunning metamorphosis that became apparent with the apostolic exhortation Querida Amazonia, dashing the hopes of many on the Catholic left. The numerous warning voices raised in the traditional Catholic world certainly played a decisive role in blocking the progressive current's most radical goals at the Synod. The standards of the Plinio Corrêa de Oliveira Institute, TFPs, and similar entities from all over the world stood out prominently among those voices. Once again, the great Catholic leaders' methods of action proved effective.